Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm going to make this video tonight, release it in the morning. I'll shave off a good half an hour's worth of getting the kids ready, trying to do hair. I don't know if you ever try and do girls' hair, it's not easy. It's not easy. Right, so boiling down the total to try and anticipate when or if we will ever go back up again. I'll start with the obvious, which is the fractal that I've got in here, which I always show, and I just unless you're watching me for the millionth time, this might be something new. You might not have ever have seen me talk about this, but this has been my overall fix on this market, the general market, especially obviously for altcoins, because this is the market cap excluding Bitcoin. And it's held up quite well, it's held up pretty well. So, most recently getting out around this area, after the first sort of alt season of 2023, the big one really, and then sort of waiting for the pullback and the consolidation, which I said is going to take a while. Seeing the time of the previous fractal basically saying, well, yeah, we do go down and then we sort of turn around and we're looking to sort of bounce out and continue up. And so that's what we've got. So, the general projection is over here, and this white line represents where I'm looking to sort of anticipate the end of the market. So that's nothing new, unless, like I say, you've just found this channel for the first time ever, and now you've found it. You can subscribe, can't you? Subscribe to it. Let's think about something different then, shall we? So we'll just look at how this is behaving, and we're looking at it on a weekly. And I know that might be a bit much for some, but weeklies are the best. They are the best. If you're looking for a decent trading environment, you check the weekly. If it's a bullish weekly like this is, it's the best time frame. And especially if you're looking to accumulate. And again, I've been talking about buy, hold, and stake since around here. Buy, hold, and stake around here. Get yourself set up to stake as much of these altcoins as you can for the duration of the rest of this bull market. And that is the best way to do it. Try not to overtrade this market. Some trades are obvious and apparent and quick and easy, but the best ones, I think, are going to be the ones that take us to significant highs from areas that we've bought from significant lows. So again, these moves aren't huge when you're looking at it on a market cap. So just measure this out and just look. This has done 150% on the first alt season, took 154 days. 1% a day, not bad. Then we found our low on this wick low, so around 150 days. You could argue that maybe we'll just go for this one, so 175 days, basically a consolidation. So similar in its time period to catch the low as it was going up. So 150 days, 150, 175 days, similar. And that's the way that normally consolidations work. You have a big move up, you have a consolidation down. They normally take the same amount of time, normally, give or take. It's unless, of course, you see something just go parabolic straight up, like those MEXC charts or the old KuCoin charts, or even the very old Binance charts. Something just comes up onto the market, boom, 1,000% in a day, consolidates for a year. That's different. We're talking about a more legitimate chart, and so this is what we're kind of looking at. So what we're seeing here, so we saw this move up here, this big move up. It took 28 days, 28 days to do 89%. Obviously, some of our coins did a hell of a lot more than that. We're talking XRP, talking Algorand, talking loads of stuff. And so far, we've been consolidating for 56 days. So we've been consolidating for longer than we've been going up. So it's that's just the nature of it. So 28 days up, and then currently, what's going on with my buttons today? Oh, come on, jeez, man. And then currently 56 days. So we are overdue for continuation. I'd make the case that actually we should have already seen continuation if it wasn't for that whole chip thing, that dumped all the markets, So that we had a buy the rumor, sell the news with Trump, which is fine, and that probably led to a lot of this as well. And then you had all that chip business, that Chinese chip business, and that's sort of nipped the immediate continuation in the bud for the moment. However, recognize what we're surfing on, the 10 exponential on a weekly. So looking at this one, we surfed the 10 exponential on the weekly, and this is where I was getting out, right? So I was being, I'm a conservative trader, always talking about risk over reward. In around here, talking about the easy part of the market, and this was the easy part of the market. Bang, 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 bang. Nice move, okay? You're not going to complain with that. And then I basically exited a lot of altcoins around this level, and then as we started to go up, I was doing sort of scalpy trades. You know, okay, it seems okay, okay, it seems okay, it seems okay, okay, the risk is too high, let's leave it. But recognize what was going on here. 10 exponential was effectively the support zone on the weekly before the last big move up. A little bit like what's going on here then, a little bit. Again, this is quite aggressive compared to this one. I mean, that's aggressive in its own way, but this was particularly aggressive. And then down into a 10 exponential. The 10 exponential holding it so far. Now, this is good so far. This is good. We're talking candle bodies, obviously. We're like, oh, but what about this wick? What about the wick which came down to come, hit the absolute previous local high? What about that wick? Yeah, wicks are wicks. Bodies are bodies. Bodies are more important to me. I prefer a body than a wick. And so should you, because it's effectively an agreed price. So this is the battle. Yeah, we're fighting. The bulls and the bears are scrapping. All right, we've come to an arrangement. This is fair price, you know. So that's the deal that's going on with a wick from both sides, you know. And look, wicks can be cool if you ever get to catch one. But for the most part, it's all about the body. So the 10 exponential, similar to the 10 exponential. And if we go back in time, what did we have in the previous bull market? We had similar sort of things. We had this over here. March crash. Big move up, big move up, big move up. Oh my god, it's all over. It's all over. Apart from, the wicks. The wicks, what about the wicks? What about the wicks? What about the bodies, baby? 10 exponential, and then continuation up into the more parabolic part of the bull market. There's differences, clearly. And I'm not saying that because it did it here and because it did it here, it's going to do it here. But all we got is this chart to reference, and if we're going to reference this chart, this is the best way to look at it. It looks okay at the moment. Now, what if it doesn't? What if it comes down? What if there's a candle body below the 10 exponential? Then you are in trouble, aren't you, really? What's next? Well, the next would be between the 21 and the 20. If we measure that down here, we've got another 8% to a perhaps more realistic 11.2%, which also takes us to the previous local high. Alright, so we're talking risk reward over here then, aren't we, at this point now? So yeah, the risk to reward at the moment is acceptable for a new entry. Again, bear in mind, all my entries around these areas are done. I'm certainly not looking to enter in any more at these prices. Like I said the other day, I've already got these prices. In fact, I got much lower than these prices, but these prices I do have. I have also significantly lower prices than this. But I do have a fair bit of cash knocking around for a rainy day. And if it is going to rain, the raindrops are likely to fall to around this area, 1.22 trillion if we were to get to that area. Yeah, this is a guide for all altcoins, right? Not the ones that look like steaming turds, by the way. I'm always trying to explain. Buy into strength, right? Not weakness. Yeah, it's tempting to look at something that's down 99.99% and then somebody out there says, well, this is actually significantly undervalued. It's just been going down forever. And I can tell you now, it's not going to do that. Well, there's no evidence for it to not go down forever. It's gone down forever. It's probably going to go down forever. And if it doesn't go down forever, then it's a lottery ticket. And if you got it, well done. If you didn't, no big deal. You can't. I wouldn't advise buying that. But we're talking about a guide here. The Total 2 is a guide for all altcoins, right? As a group, as a bunch. So we think about this area down here. And if we were to get down to this area here, then yeah, I would start to check every altcoin that I'm personally interested in, that I would like to own more of, and I would buy them roughly around this area, using this as a guide and then referring to the altcoin of choice. Because if we're going to see a turnaround on this chart, if we don't see it from here, we'll probably see it from here. And if we don't see it from here, well then, oh my good God, we might never see it, or we won't be seeing it for a while, because I wouldn't say it's broken structure, but closure below the 20 simple moving average, that Bollinger Band center on a weekly, then the odds flip in favour of bears, and we do have to think actually the bears are winning at this point. The bears are more likely to not just keep us going down, but actually get rejected from these areas if we ever go up to it. And effectively, that looks more likely to become a bear market. But we're not there yet, are we? Odds are in favour of continuation from here and from here. But it would mean close to a 12% pullback to get to this level. And this is just the market cap of crypto. So your precious altcoin of choice might see a 20, 30, who knows, 40, 50% pullback when we get to this area. So if you're in it, will be pretty devastating to watch. But if we do come down to it, cowabunga, baby, that's what it kind of looked like. So that's what I mean. You've got to have you got to have a plan, really, and it'd have to be your plan. It can't be mine. If you share my plan or if you agree with mine because it's similar to yours, that's a different story. But the way I break these charts down, as you can imagine, it's a simple perspective, right? Risk to reward, and I have had this overlay of this fractal for donkey's years now, and it's worked quite well throughout this period and this period, and again, not to sort of keep banging on about it, but when you talk about the big swings in here, out here, trade this, out here, in here, out here, in here, this is okay, isn't it, really? So, I mean, it speaks for itself. So, I'm not sitting around pressing buttons every moment of the day like what some people imagine a day trader would be. I'm pressing a few buttons every few months, and doing all right out of it. And that is a relaxing way to deal with this market. And it is relaxing. It can be frustrating, though, and that's what it has been these last few days. It's a bit frustrating, let's face it, it's a bit frustrating. But then I have to reflect on the successes that we've had. Bitcoin, still at 100,000. That was a call I made for January. So I think we're going to go to 100,000 in January. Even my loyal followers were a little skeptical of that. Same thing with XRP. We're going to see a $3 XRP in January. Oh, bold claims, CC. Sometimes you've got to stick your neck out it. And here we are, even after all this shenanigans, $100,000, $3. Still there. So actually, when it comes down to it, you're like, all right, okay, well, targets are still met and it's still holding price. So that's fine. They were my main calls for January, and generally looking for a continuation, obviously, which we have not yet got. But still, it's very early. Still very early. We've got until September, in my opinion, before we see an absolute peak and a pop, and we can see how fast uptrends can take place. And as far as consolidation time frame is concerned, we're kind of overdue for a continuation if we're going to get it. But if we do swoop down lower, you'll see me buy. I'll be buying things down here, and they're nothing amazing. If you want to know the things I'll be buying, it'll be things like Algorand. I'll be buying some more Algorand. Atom, I know, it looks like a steaming turd, obviously, but I've got a plan for that. It's a 10-year plan. Maybe one day I'll make a video about that, but I've got a 10-year plan. If you can imagine having a 10-year plan in any altcoin, what I do, and it is that. So I'll be buying that. Polkadot as well, because I probably should have more of that. There's loads of things I'll be buying, but they're all boring. There's nothing that I'll be saying to you that's the next best thing. My biggest hodls when it comes to altcoins are Algorand, XRP, massive amount. That's by far the biggest bag of everything that I've got. So XRP, huge. Algorand, pretty big. Atom, reasonably big. Ethereum, massive amount of Ethereum, a huge amount of Ethereum. Those are all extremely boring. Solana, I've got some Solana because I had to. What else have I got? Shiba Inu. I've got some of that because you got to diversify. VeChain. These are all things that I talk about all the time. There's no secret as to what I hold. And these are the sort of things that I'll be. And obviously Chainlink, huge amount of Chainlink. That was the biggest bid I had at the end of the bear market, basically. So nothing special, nothing new. But if we look at all of those charts that I've spoken about, apart from Atom, all right, let's forget about that. They're all up pretty significantly from their lows. They're all holding value from their lows. They're all doing really well. the plan from beginning to end so far is quite a good working plan. But I don't buy things willy-nilly, and I'm not going to be buying from here, but I will top up. Maybe another 10% of the cash goes in at this area, because we are looking to turn around, and this bull market is very likely to end this year, the back end of this year, which means that this trade, as long as as far as time is concerned, you'd be like, all right, you bought in January, and you're not gonna sell until August, September. That's going to take a while. Actually, in real life terms, that's no time at all. If I'm looking to buy, a crypto in, let's just say today, or let's just say we nuke down to those levels and we bought it today, end of January, beginning of February, and I sell sort of, August, September. That's like 8 months to do probably several hundred percent. Several hundred %. In real life, that's a good deal, and that's no time at all to wait to double, triple, quadruple, whatever your money. That's actually that's no problem at all. That's a good deal, and that's how I view this market. Right, I'm not one of those YouTubers or people in general that's like disappointed because I've only sort of made 300 or 400%. And believe me, there's plenty of those people out there, because I get DMs about it. So, I watched your video and I only made 200% in a month. Right, that is a first world problem, and I don't have that. I'd be very pleased to double my money even in a year. Why wouldn't you? That's amazing. We live in a world where you have an opportunity to do that. And it's mad to hear people complain about that. And you wouldn't believe how many people complain about doubling their money over a period of months. Crazy. Anyway, so I've rambled on long enough. I've shown you some ideas here, and obviously my overall expectation, but also areas where we could come down to and still be extremely bullish on this chart. But it might mean that your altcoin that you're holding, and mine, of course, because as you can tell, I've got altcoins coming out my ears at the moment, could come down another 20, 30, 40 or 50% before it rallies up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600%, as we saw in this area. Like Matt Damon said in that famous advert, all the way at the peak over here, fortune favours the brave. But obviously he should have said it around here. Fortune favours the brave. Go on, fortune favours the brave. Fortune favours the brave. Which is what I'm trying to say, really. Fortune does favour the brave. And the hard part of the market is allocating. And waiting to allocate as well. That's the hard part. The easy part of the market is once you've allocated and the plan works. If it works at all. That's the easy part of the market. And you can sit back and relax. And then all you need to do at that point then is gauge the risk. Gauge the risk. Don't think about price targets. I will not sell my XRP until it hits £12.57. What if it only goes to £12.54? Well, I won't sell. Okay. Well, you see what I mean. So I've made the analogy, and this is going to obviously be a long video because I'm rambling, but it's one of those things. I made the analogy on my Patreon. I think I've made a few videos about it before. You go to the arcades and there's that machine in there where it's like a wind tunnel, and you got 60 seconds to collect as many ping pong balls as possible and push them down this hole. And time's running out. Each ping pong ball is worth a ticket or something like that. And then the 30 seconds is over, and it doesn't matter what you do at that point. The game's over. There's no point in trying to put any more ping pong balls down the hole. It's over. It's over around here, in my opinion. So all the ping pong balls, you've got X amount of time. Don't think about, I will sell at £12.57. Say no, I will sell when the risk and the time sort of merge together, and the bull market sort of is on borrowed time. And arguably, you want to be out before the peak, just to make sure that you get some profit out of it. Because there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. And like I say, I sold loads, the vast majority, after buying the lows. I thought I was selling the highs, or as far as I was concerned, selling relative highs. And again, Small on this chart, but when the altcoins that I was holding, we're talking 2, 3, 400% in some, and then yeah, in and out if you can. Same thing over here, you know, in. Okay, we're looking like there's going to be a peak around here. Let's get out. Let's let it come down. Let it come down. It came down. So now it is like that. You're going to just have to wait. We are overdue with this consolidation to finish. We are overdue it. It shouldn't take much longer. It should be done. But if we swoop down lower, I will buy. But like I say, at the moment, we could even start turning around tomorrow. We could. I don't think we will, but we could. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Long video. If you made it through to the end, let me know. Otherwise, hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.